Everybody, welcome back to Cribs and Ribs. I'm doing a barbecue review today at a place called SNS Diner. I think I may have stumbled onto a gem here today. This place has been actually on the Food Network. It's been reviewed in the paper. You know, I don't know how I've missed it, but it's right next to the Morton's truck stop there. Chef was explaining to me it's more like a restaurant than a barbecue joint. They've got a full bar. Menu looks pretty extensive. Looks like there's something for everybody. They do smoked meatballs. They do handmade chicken tenders, slow smoked brisket and ribs. You know, so I'm definitely going to try some barbecue. But you know, the chef was telling me about some of their other items as well. I'm going to try these smoked meatballs with a beautiful brisket gravy. Tell me that doesn't sound good. So stick around. The beans sound amazing. You know, I'm a big fan of beans. You know, my wife loves it when I eat those, but yeah, so stick around. We're gonna try some fantastic cuisine here today. I don't know how I'm gonna decide what to have here. They say they do a great brisket and ribs. They do a smoked chicken. Oh, that's a done deal, but man, I've got some gumbo on the way. All right, my man Xavier's here. So what do we have here? This is the chicken gumbo, right?
No, that's the pork chili. He actually sent you out a sample of it.
Okay, some sour cream, green onion, and cheddar cheese on there. This is the smoked pork chili with the smoked red peppers. Let's give it a shot. You know, this is really good. It's got the classic flavors of chili, but that pulled pork definitely is a change up from your traditional ground beef. Gives you, know, something to chew on in there. Those beans are terrific. No cans involved on those beans either, everybody. They make this from scratch. This is delicious. If this is any indication on how the rest of the food is going to be today, I'm really excited. Not to mention, with the pulled pork and that chili, it really kind of brings it back to barbecue. So far, so good.
Now this is going to be that sausage and chicken gumbo.
Beautiful. Man, this is terrific. Up next here, we've got a sausage and chicken gumbo. They smoke all the peppers here in-house for this as well. Got a nice green pepper in there. Smoked chicken, a little rice. Let's give this a shot. All right. Let's see what this chicken gumbo is all about. This is delightful. Oh, you can really taste the smoke in that chicken. That really sets this gumbo off. Little pieces of sausage in there as well. Sausage is also house made. This is fantastic. This is right next to the truck stop, so it's real easy to get to if you're on your way in or out of town. So far, I've just tried the chili and the gumbo. I haven't even had any of the entrees yet, but this is really, really tasty.
Send out another sample. This is going to be our meatball appetizer. This is just a single meatball though.
Oh, it's a smoked meatball with a brisket gravy. Chef made a point to tell me about this one. It's a nice beef meatball here. Ooh, it's very tender. The gravy is pretty velvety and rich looking. He says as the brisket's smoking, he just collects all those drippings in a pan, and that's what he makes the gravy with. This is going to be good. I can already tell. Man, that gravy is outstanding, and the meatball is no joke. The texture is really good. It's nice and soft. Still got a little chew to it. The smokiness of the meatball isn't too domineering. Really delicious. It's not like an Italian style meatball or anything, but that velvety brisket gravy on there is wonderful. I just ordered a 3-meat combo with a couple of sides. I'm having a house-made cobbler for dessert. Man, I shouldn't eat this whole meatball, but I don't see how I'm going to be able to avoid it. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning either, everybody. I'm here kind of early. I try to beat the lunch rush. You know, it's, 10 o'clock, there's people in here eating, it's busy. You can tell it's a popular spot. And another thing that I've noticed is a lot of the guests, as they walk in, they know the staff by first name basis, and vice versa, so that shows you one thing, they've got their regulars, that says a lot about a restaurant right there. And I think the location is perfect. If you're on your way out of town or you're on your way into town, you can pop right in. Those meatballs alone, man, that was really, really ridiculous. I could make a meal out of the meatballs and the gumbo. The chili was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to trying this brisket. Yeah, this place is good. See if I can control myself from eating this gumbo before my entree gets out here. Man, the textures of this are just so nice, and it's rich and peppery and just comforting all the way. You can make a meal out of this gumbo, but I sure was happy to start out with it, I tell you that much. I was gonna try to avoid eating this whole bowl of gumbo because I know I got a lot of food coming out and I'm not gonna be able to stop eating this gumbo. And if you're popping through, stop at the SNS Diner and you say to yourself, Las Vegas and North Las Vegas have a lot to offer. I just might want to move there. Give me a call, I'll help you find the perfect property. Or if you're like, this is a perfect place to stop on our way out of this mug. Give me a call and I'll help you sell your house. Make it quick and painless. Let's take a look at what we've got here today, everybody. These are the smoked beans. Oh, smoked beans with brisket trimmings. I'm all about that. Got some nice collard greens. Another slice of that cornbread. And then we're looking at some brisket. Looks like the semi-upper flat. Got a nice piece of smoked chicken there. And we're looking at 3 bones. Looking forward to trying this, everybody. We've got a house-made barbecue sauce. And when my buddy Xavier comes back around, I'm gonna see if he'll bring me some of that mustard sauce. All right, let's see what we're looking at. All right, let's go ahead and start out with one of these baby backs. All right. So this is the baby back. As you can see, it's nice and juicy. Oh man, look at that. Really tender. They don't trim it too much, which to me is a good thing. Let's give it a taste. Oh, they're nice and tender. Nice and tender. A little on the sweet side. Since they don't trim them. You get that layer of lean. A nice layer of fat right underneath it. And then some more lean. I really like that. Yeah, the ribs are good. Not overly smoky. They use red oak, So I've definitely had some ribs that are a little more aggressively smoky, but you can see this one does have a nice little smoke ring going there. Let's get a little more of that sauce on there. Man, the closer you get to the bone on these ribs, the better they taste. We're gonna go ahead and get that real close. Let's try the brisket, everybody. Look at that. Oh, look at the way that pulls apart. It slices a little thin, but let's taste it. You can see that smoke ring. Brisket's nice and tender and beefy. Got a spicy house-made Carolina mustard we're gonna give it a try with. Yeah. Yeah, that mustard kicks it up a notch.
Napkins and some bookmarks right there for you.
Oh, appreciate that, man. I can see how that'd be nice on a sandwich. They do a brisket Philly. You throw some of that brisket on a sandwich with some melted cheese and peppers and onions and mushrooms. I bet you that's outstanding. All right, let's take a look at this smoked chicken. I love some smoked chicken. All right, they gave me a whole leg here. They must have read my mind because that's my favorite part. Smoked chicken's one of my favorites. So I got a nice piece of the skin and leg here. Oh yeah. That skin's nice and crispy. Yeah, that texture's right on the money. Yeah, the bone just falls right out of there. Oh, that skin is good. Perfectly seasoned. Fantastically crispy. Let's get a little barbecue sauce on that. Yeah, you definitely want to try some of this chicken. It's starting to fill up in here a little bit. I think that chicken so far is the winner. All right, now we got the smoked beans. So these are dried beans, not canned at all. All right, they cook this down with the brisket trimmings and smoke them overnight. Let's give it a taste. Oh, this looks really good. Oh man. Yeah, these are delicious. These are right up there with any other, bean side I've had at a barbecue restaurant or any other restaurant. These are delicious. Slightly sweet, nice and smoky. Really rich. And the beans themselves are cooked to perfection. They're perfectly tender with just enough texture. You gotta get down to SNS Diner, everybody. This place has been really good. Xavier recommended I try the collard greens. I can already tell as soon as I stuck my fork in there, they are not too soft. All right, these have just about the right texture, I can tell. Oh yeah. Oh, these are really nice. Man, they get a kudos on the greens. These are seasoned perfectly. Got just the right amount of meat in there, and the greens themselves have a little texture to them. A lot of places you go to, the greens will be overcooked, and they're too mushy. Not these. These are perfect. Bravo. Everybody, so far, everything I've tried has been wonderful. I highly recommend you come down to SNS as soon as you can and get some of this barbecue. I would definitely recommend getting that chicken. If you're not quite in the mood for barbecue, try those smoked meatballs. Those are outstanding. The gumbo is delicious. You can make a whole meal out of the gumbo. They talked a lot about their chicken wings. I'm gonna have to save that one for next time. I'm definitely saving some room for dessert. But it's been a wonderful experience down here at the SNS Diner today. Again, right next to Morton's Truck Stop. If you're on your way in or out of town, perfect place to stop off, gas up, get you a nice hearty home-cooked meal. Delicious food, everybody. So everybody, everything was fantastic. The place is starting to fill up. I'm gonna try to hurry up and make this quick and get out of the way so they can get some more people in here. I'm tying up one corner of the restaurant, but I am waiting for a piece of this homemade berry cobbler with ice cream. Oh man, they're talking my language with that one. But yeah, I'm gonna give that a taste and then I'm gonna get out of here. But SNS Diner has really been a treat. I'm really glad I found this place. I highly recommend you stopping in and getting you some. When you get down here, ask for Xavier. He'll take real good care of you. Took great care of me there. Tell him you got sent down there by Cribs and Ribs, you know what I mean? But this has been delicious. And no matter what you get, make sure you get a side of those smoked meatballs. They serve them as a side of 3. so good. And that doggone brisket gravy, man, I can't even tell you how good it is. They also make sort of a poutine. Their house-made chips or fries, and they do that brisket gravy on top. Definitely trying that next time. I'm coming back for the hot wings too. They make their own wing sauce. Why wouldn't they? You know, so stick around. We'll try this cobbler and get on out of here. Ta-da! House-made berry cobbler with vanilla ice cream. So everybody, cobblers and pies, man, that is, you know, that's my favorite dessert. You throw a little ice cream in the mix, and I am a happy man. Oh, and just melting down on this nice hot cobbler. You know, I actually had to push a little bit to get through that crust, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Let's give this a taste. Oh man, big old fat blueberries. The vanilla ice cream's nice. That pie crust. That's really good. Oh, that's delicious. Homemade berry cobbler a la mode. It's not going to get better than that. Ooh, that was the perfect way to end this meal off, everybody. I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Get down there to the SNS Diner and get you some grub. You know, everything looks good. They've got a whole side of the menu with burgers and sandwiches and soups and salads. Really more of a restaurant than a barbecue joint, but they do some mighty fine barbecue as well. Till next time, everybody. Cribs and Ribs.